Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all my dear students. This is your lecture number 17, chapter Homeostasis by Ms. Zainab Abdul Ghaffar. Inshallah, today we will discuss about the following topics: dialysis and types of dialysis, hemodialysis, peritoneal dialysis, then kidney transplant, the principles of kidney transplant, and then the problems associated with kidney transplant. It will cover the contents from your textbook from page number 35 to page number 37. What is dialysis? Dialysis is basically the process of removing excess water, solutes, and toxins from the body in a people whose kidney can no longer perform these functions naturally. This is referred to as renal replacement therapy. So that's mean the clinical purification of blood by an artificial method as a substitute for a normal function of kidney. The method may be hemodialysis or peritoneal dialysis. So basically there are two general types of renal dialysis according to the condition of the patient. It may be varied. It may be hemodialysis or may be peritoneal dialysis. Okay, now student, a type of dialysis which is called hemodialysis. Dear student, remember one thing, hemodialysis is one of the effective method of dialysis. So students, as you see in the diagram, there is a catheter which is inserted into the blood vessels of the patient, usually in the arm. It routes the blood circulation externally through a machine that removes waste. Then the clean blood then returns to the body through a second catheter. So the catheters supply blood to the hemodialysis machine. Firstly, the hemodialysis machine consists of two components. First, the pump. Second, the dialyzer. Now, the blood moves into the tubes of dialyzer from top through a blood pump. On the other hand, dialysate pour into the machine from the bottom. What is a dialysate? Dialysate is basically a dialysis fluid, which dialysis fluid is basically a solution of pure water, electrolytes, and a salt such as bicarbonate and sodium. The main purpose of the dialysate is to pull toxins from the blood into the dialysate. The separation of the waste is done by creating a counter current flow gradient where blood flow in one direction and the fluid of the dialyzer is in the opposite direction. Now, after passing the blood through dialysate, the patient blood become cleaned. Then this clean blood then return into the patient body through a second catheter. So students, note down one thing more, that each dialysis treatment lasts about 4 hours. Now the second one is peritoneal dialysis. Basically peritoneal word derived from the word peritoneum. What is a peritoneum? Peritoneum is basically a natural membrane in the body which encloses our abdominal cavity. As you can see in the diagram, so again in this process the two catheters are used that are inserted into the abdominal cavity. The catheters supply blood to the dialysate bag, that is that you can see in the diagram on the upper side. There is a dialysate bag in which dialysate is present, which contain a dialysis fluid as we discussed in the previous slide. So students, when the blood passing into that dialysate fluid, all the waste product that are present in the blood can be removed into the other bag, that is drainage bag. Then after purifying the blood, that clean blood then return into the body through the peritoneal cavity or peritoneal membrane. So student, these treatment can be done at home, at work, or while traveling, but peritoneal dialysis is not an option for everyone with kidney failure. and this process usually done 3, 4 or 5 times in a 24-hour period. Kidney transplant and its principle. Basically, students, kidney transplantation or renal transplantation is the organ transplantation of a kidney into a patient with end-stage kidney disease. Kidney transplantation is basically typically classified as the deceased donor or living donor transplantation depending on the source of the donor organ. So basically it's an surgical procedure to place a healthy kidney from a living or deceased donor into a person whose kidney is no longer functioned. So students, basically kidney transplantation is not simple as you can hear or you can see. It's depend upon the basic principles. So that's mean there are some basic principles for kidney transplantation. Number 1, ABO blood group compatibility between the donor and recipient is essential. What do you mean by ABO blood group compatibility? Means if the recipient having a blood group A, that means the donor should have blood group A as well. Or if the recipient having a blood group B, the donor should have blood group B as well. So that means the compatibility between the donor and the recipient is very necessary. Which type of compatibility? Definitely the blood group compatibility, that is A, B and O. Secondly, the doctors are going to select the donor kidney on the basis of HLA, that is human leukocyte antigens. That means HLA matching is also necessary between the donor and the recipient. Okay students, what do you mean by human leukocyte antigens? Basically it's play an important role in the body's immune response to foreign substances. They make up a person's tissue type which vary from person to person. After matching the human leukocyte antigen, the donor can donate their kidney to the patient. So when the donor kidney become available, it's relatively simple operation to transplant it into another body. And the old kidney are in place and do not harm to your body or the patient body. But if it cause any infection, then it will be removed by the surgeon. Now the new kidney can be attached easily to a large artery, that is femoral artery. Mostly the surgeon choose that site for attach the new kidney into the patient body. Basically the femoral artery is a large artery in your thighs and the main arterial supply to the thigh and the lung. Basically studies shows that people with kidney transplant live longer than those who remain on dialysis. Although most transplants are successful and last for many years, how long they last can vary from person to person or patient to patient. Many people with need more than one kidney
Problems
transplant
associated with kidney transplant. Basically there are two problems that relate to kidney transplant. The first one is transplant rejection. Basically transplant rejection occur when transplanted tissue is rejected by a recipient immune system. When it will be rejected, then the problems are created because the recipient immune system destroy the transplanted tissue. And the second one is the high toxic effect of cyclosporin. Basically cyclosporin belong to a class of drugs known as immunosuppressant. So it's a drug which is used to prevent the organ rejection. Normally it is usually taken along with other medications to allow your new organ to function normally. So if at any point a recipient stop taking that medication, then the rejection can occur even 10 or 15 years after the transplantation of kidney. So basically these problems are usually treated with extra doses of steroids. Steroids is basically used as a main treatment for certain inflammatory condition. So steroid treatment can prevent or delay the loss of kidney function. That's all about the problems associated with kidney transplant. Hopefully it's clear now. So in today's lecture we had covered the dialysis,
their types, and kidney transplant process and the problems. That's all for today lecture.